Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I have Kevin's Loving Vibrations here today with me. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in. And I've got your questions that are on the community tab. That's how we're doing it now. Just a quick reminder. Um, when I ask for questions, I will ask you to put them in the community tab so that YouTube doesn't eat them all in the chat log and have them disappear. It's my one way of keeping them all together. So I'm really glad to see you guys. And I want to introduce, as I was saying, Kevin's Loving Vibrations. So, Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're interested in the esoteric and the cards and such?
All right. Well, I'm going to say hello to everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Um, since I was a young kid, I was always really sensitive. It actually really scared me. Um, so for the longest time, I blocked out my gifts. It wasn't until I was a young adult that I realized that I was an empath, and um, and I've had some experiences living in haunted houses and seeing ghosts and things. So um, yeah, just really tried to really piqued my interest in a lot of the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of trauma as a child. Um, so I've been in really dark places before in my life.
Yeah.
And as I started to open up my gifts, I really started doing a lot of that spiritual growth work and started learning tarot cards and recently learned Reiki. And yeah, the Reiki's really helped tremendously with raising my vibrations to connect and channel.
It does.
Um, but yeah, I feel like since Reiki, especially, my gifts have really expanded. Um,
You said that you grew up, I also grew up in a haunted house.
I
Uh,
didn't grow up in a haunted house. When I
I
was
was
a kid,
about 7 years there, I guess. Yeah.
when I was a kid, I saw a ghost in my grandma's barn. Her barn was like 150, 200 years old.
Uh-huh.
And well, I've talked to you a little bit about my ghost adventure in Gettysburg, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, when I was in my early 20s, I moved out of my dad's house, and because like I said, there was a lot of issues there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I moved in with my aunt and uncle, and there was a lot of creepy stuff that happened in that house.
Oh.
I found out after I had moved out that they had somebody investigate that house, and um, sadly, a man killed his whole family and himself in the house.
Oh my God. So a family annihilator.
Yeah.
That's heavy energy. No, no question. Oh my God. I can just kind of imagine the feeling of that kind of oppressiveness would have been
Yes, it was really
thick and
heavy.
heavy. Ugh.
Yeah. You could
Oh
actually, if you were anywhere in the house, like on the main floor, you
yeah.
could just see out of the corner of your eye a big dark man. He always liked to stay in the by the doorway.
Hmm. Probably much like in real life, controlling everybody's movements or
Mhm.
ability to go in or out. You know, often control freaks that do that. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I think especially for me as an empath, I was extremely sensitive to it. Um, but it kind of just piqued my interest. If there's ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
then obviously we're all spirits or soul energy.
Right.
And so it just started to fascinate me, and I started learning a lot more about metaphysical stuff.
Oh wow, that's really neat. So, just kind of curious because we have where about in the country was this? Your was it your aunt and uncle
Hmm.
that you were with? Where was that at? I picture it out in the because you said barn, so I'm picturing
Oh,
farmhouse or.
when I saw the ghost in the barn, that
Mhm.
was at my grandma's property.
Oh, grandma's.
Yes, it was out in the country. She had almost 100 acres of
Wow.
land. When we were growing up, we had horses and have to go hay the field, and that was not fun. But the riding
The
horses,
horses are fun.
yeah.
I agree.
Um, but they built the house a little bit later. I think the house was about 100 years old, but the barn was original to the property, and I think it was like 150, 200 years old.
Oh, wow.
And we found out, I'm pretty sure the ghost name was Walter, because written in the wall in there said Walter, and there was tally marks everywhere. So I'm wondering if he was not able to like read or write, so he would just tally
Hmm.
to
Maybe
count.
whatever produce or whatever he was.
Yeah, we saw him slaughtering a pig when we saw him. So maybe
Oh,
it was his
lovely.
pig
He's
count.
charming, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was when I was growing up, the house that I grew up in to begin with, one of the first, um, was quite old. It was built probably just after the Civil War.
Okay.
And the guy that ended up buying it ended up, well, he was a quack, and he was this doctor that was selling this snake oil,
Oh,
type of
yeah.
stuff. And this was in St. Joseph, Missouri. And he had committed murder. There was a editor of the local newspaper in the back in the 1800s that exposed him, calling him a quack, and so he went down and shot him in his office,
Oh, wow.
and then went on the run. But I didn't know any of that until we didn't live there anymore, and I was a lot older. But he was really a malicious, mean spirit.
Yeah.
And I did see him, and I saw he showed up in a half apparition, but he was mean, 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 mean. I had all kinds of nightmares there growing up as a kid. It was pretty tough time growing up as well. In my household, there was a lot of violence and stuff that went on at times. So,
That was a
but
heavy environment to live in growing up.
yeah, yeah, it really was. But the interesting thing was that is, if that hadn't happened to me, I probably wouldn't believe. It's just too easy to say, oh, that's incredible. Come on. That's silly. But I probably wouldn't believe. And many people, they cannot imagine unless they've had something happen where they know that it is beyond explanation.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
like about the same thing for me, really. I didn't really realize I was so sensitive until after I lived in that house for
yeah,
a few years. So
and that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. You see so many people that you don't expect it. It just occurs there in the house, and you start to notice. It,
mm,
it's not something that always jumps right out at you, and that's what's weird about it. Is it kind of gets to know you, and this like the spirit that I'm talking about. He was he was really aggressive and really wanted us out, and just malicious. And there's one question that I will be asking for myself, and it has to do with this house, incidentally. Um, I had a memory come back to me of this. My parents were both in art, and my mother was an art teacher for schools, and then my dad was a associate art professor at the local college. So it was the 70s, and they'd have parties and all kinds of stuff, and they knew all kinds of different people. And there was this one man that came in, but I thought, well, this is really different kind of guy. He was dressed in the garment of, I would say, not like Franciscan, but it was obviously one of the orders, a Catholic
hmm.
ensemble. It was black, that was all black. And he looked like he had really kind of like dark complected, looked like he could be South American, maybe something from there. And I just thought, oh, that's mom and dad's friend. I don't remember. I didn't ever know his name. But when I thought of that guy, I brought him up because he reminded me of Father Guido Sarducci. Now, is probably way before your time.
Yeah.
But this was a character on Saturday Night Live back probably in the 70s or 80s. And he was kind of this chain smoking priest that, mustache, dark hair, and kind of looks a little bit like a hippie at the time. That was the kind of his similar look. It's the only thing I can relate it to. And so I remembered when I saw a picture of the character, I thought, oh yeah, I remember that religious guy that used to come and visit my mom, and he was always smoking. He liked it, and he would just sit there. He had really dark eyes, and he would just sit there at the table and smoke. And I would look directly at him in the eye, and he would just sit there and look at me. And he was talking to my mom, and my mom said, "Maya, I don't know what you're talking about. We never knew anybody like that." I'm like, no, he was sitting at the kitchen table. You were making coffee, and he was waiting for you. And I saw him sitting there as clear as day. I can remember. I saw him smoking his cigarettes, and he was just looking straight into my eyes. And I was like maybe 2 or 3. And since I was getting picked on by spirit a lot in that house, I mean, a lot. It was physical. It was not nice. I'd wake up because I felt like someone was slapping me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we're talking about that kind of thing. And it settled down as I was getting older, but there would just be times where I could really feel that his presence. There were other presences there. My mom we saw ghost animals. We saw, she and I saw the most.
So do you think as a child, did that really terrify you where you blocked out your gifts, or you weren't afraid of it?
I wasn't afraid of it. I was intimidated, but I wasn't in some ways. I just felt like I'm observing this and taking this in. Some of it would scare me, but I don't know. I think my guides must have been on double duty. I really do, because I was pretty calm about it.
You probably had a lot of angels protecting you.
I think so.
That kind of energy too.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was not pleasant. It did scare me, but I would still stay in my bed and I'd go back to sleep, or I would feel the presence looking at me. And because I was an early 70s latchkey kid. I mean, my mom had to work in the 70s. She wasn't at home. So, at 5 years old, I'm letting myself into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so she, and we just, I don't know what my point of that was, but independence, I guess, pretty early.
Right. That's probably what made you strong too, to really feel like you could stand up for yourself for that too. Yeah. It terrified me as a child because
it is scary.
Well, and it wasn't even so much I lived in a haunted house, but I was just sensitive to there'd be like walking ghosts, and I was terrified to sleep alone or in the dark. I would sneak in my sister's room for a few years and sleep with them because I just didn't like sleeping alone.
My brother's room had an extra bed, and let me tell you, I do recall getting up out of my room and going in there, and it's just like, good, brother's there, I'm right here. Well, that's good. I do recall. Gives you some kind of, you just said that,
security and safety.
Yeah. There's the primitive thing of like, okay. I do recall that. Now that you mentioned that, there were definitely a few nights I ran in there and slept. So there were times that it scared the hell out of me. Absolutely. And the place, I'm going to be doing a story on it, and I'm going to try to contact the daughter-in-law the daughter of the people that owned the house that we lived in, were our landlords, and they have long since passed. But their daughter, one of their daughters, is now living. And it's my intent to call her, and she does some haunted tours with the city, and it's a historic landmark. So I'd kind of like to ask her if maybe I couldn't kind of get a little work, a little bit of something from her to add into the story. Because I think that will be fascinating. Because she's still living there. I got to find out, is this guy still
Right. Is he
bothers
still
him?
occupying the property?
Yeah. But because he only picked on me, he didn't pick so much on my dad, but I think he went through my dad's rage. I really do. I think my dad would get so angry. He could get into like a blackout phase.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's probably feeling that energy strong without even realizing it,
yeah, I think
tapping into it. And I feel like people that are really sensitive too, especially like kids, really see, and I think a lot of the entities like to try to scare them because they are so sensitive that they can communicate with them.
sure, it's a cheap thrill for them.
Right.
If they're going to do that kind of thing, that's, just what they tend to do. And it was just weird. My brother would have dreams. It was a really nice staircase, but it was a long banister.
Okay.
Went down. And he used to have these dreams. I would have them only occasionally. And we used to play on that banister, to all day long, But then we'd have these dreams of falling over and hitting the, not.
Right.
He would get plagued with the night terrors that way. So there was, I think it just was affecting him in a different way. But with me, I think I could see. So when the guy showed up, my dad was teaching night classes at the college because we were poor. And I was sleeping, I'd lay down with my mom next to her on their bed. And like I said, I've got some memories that go back pretty early, but I just remember waking up because I felt like somebody was looking at me. I just thought maybe my dad had come home.
Right.
And I looked over, I sat straight up and I looked over in the corner of the room and I could see this misty kind of an outline. And it took more form and it took more form. And then I could see him from about waist up, old coat, 1800s. I could see the jacket. But he didn't have any color. It was just a white mist.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen other apparitions that are in color, but I can always see through them. And like him, I could see through him. And he was just scowling at me. And then I was like, if that scared me. So then I turned to wake up my mom. And I'm like, Mom! And I said, there's a man in our room. And I remember she picked me up and she said, where is he? Where is he? Is he over here? And she took me, because I said, he's over in the corner. And she took me over to the rubber tree plant. And I'm like, no. And, that's not what ghosts, Mom. And that was the one time that I saw him appear, but I could feel him.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you forget about him for the longest time and it was just that SNL skit that brought him back up into your memory?
Well, not the murderer, but that was a doctor, quote unquote.
Oh, right.
But the hippie dude, I'm going to call him that, the hippie looking kind of 70s looking priest, but he had the black hat with the wide brim, like they would have worn in Mexico or maybe South America. I've tried to look and see if I could find an order that wore the kind of a garb, but I haven't really found it yet. I should look a little deeper. But this was just a few years ago when I remembered him. And I was posting at the time, I was posting on my Instagram and I was saying something about, oh God, I remember this character. And then I saw my mom because she lives in the same town I do. And I brought it up because I thought, oh yeah, I got to ask her. And she just looked at me like I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
She did not know. I said, yeah, he came with Fred. you know, this Fred Ide was a friend of theirs.
Mhm.
And I shouldn't say his name, but and Fred did a lot of traveling. And I remember he came in with him. So I wonder if maybe our friend Fred didn't bring him in, because that's who I saw him come in with as a child, actually coming into our house with this
Right.
friend of my family. And I just thought, oh, friend of a friend, you know? And my mom's like, no, she could not. So I have at a total loss. I'm just like, and when I try and read on it, it's been about as clear as mud. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to put it
Right.
on.
So did he show himself to you after like after Fred would leave?
Yeah. There were times
Oh,
Fred was not there that I would see him. And this was one of those times that was kind of surprised me, because it was in the morning and my mom was making coffee.
mm-hmm.
You know, she didn't drink coffee in the evening. And it was morning time. It was light outside. And I was just sitting at the dinner table, and the stove is over here off to my right. And my mom's over the little gas stove doing that. And I'm at this rectangular dinner table, and I'm looking at her, and she probably made me something to eat. And I'm sitting there, and this guy's sitting right directly and across from me, smoking a cigarette, like I said, just looking at me, not saying a word, not talking. Didn't say a word. But I got some telepathic words, like, from him.
Right.
That something about like he was waiting for my mom to fix him the cup of coffee. And that's all I can get.
It's weird. You probably made a connection with him when your parents' friend brought him in and wanted to stay around. Maybe you needed help with something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And that's why I want to ask other people, and maybe ask you to throw some cards, because
Sure.
I have never been able to get clear. Was he protecting me? Was he a threat? Was he, because he was a very strong energy, because he had these
Right.
beautiful, beautiful brown, deep, almost black eyes. But he was just, and he just looked at me, but I didn't look away, which, you know, a lot of kids would like, geez, mister, you know,
Right.
this is weird. But I didn't. I just looked him right back in the eye, and I didn't drop my gaze. And it was just strange. Strange. So we're talking about the strange today, because you didn't get it. So that's what I've got to share about that. And I don't know. Would you mind throwing some cards on it?
Sure.
Thanks. And then we'll get to your guys' me first.
All right.
And thank you all. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to start with, we're just kicking off with some spooky questions about my haunted childhood. That'll be my book, Kevin. My haunted childhood.
Haunted childhood.
Yeah.
I can give you an excerpt or two to put in there.
Yes, we're going on it together, right? My God. Oh, comments.
I'm a long shuffler, so it takes me.
So am I. So don't worry about it. I always feel a little self-conscious to everyone else, because I'm slow.
I just like to focus in on the energy and
Me too. I like to
just
really
make sure that it's a good throw.
feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got it. Oh, that's cute, Shield Maiden. I'm just reading your comment about a mouse's head poking through the wall. That's cute. Now that would have been a welcome thing. I would have been all down for that. Not getting slapped. But this priestly guy, dark hair, dark eyes, mustache, the kind that kind of almost, you know, almost has like a curl on the sides, almost like a, what do you call that? There's a certain style. Very stylish in a way. But came off like he was South America, New Mexico, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Was it kind of like Western vibes almost?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. Like I would have said like even Mexico.
Right.
Or Guatemala. That kind of Costa Rica. I don't know. You remember that priest you do, Patty Palmer? She remembers him. I'm glad. Because for a minute I thought, what if I'm making this all up? What if it's all in my head? Ooh, I need my bottle of water. Thanks for listening, you guys.
Interesting.
I'm glad that I'm not, I know I'm old, but I'm glad that there's more people that know who this character is, because for a moment I'd be feeling like really alone. And like, did I make that up out of my own, for a minute, like, whoo. It was weird. It was weird, you guys. Thank you, Silver. Thank you for putting a please thumbs up too, guys. And if you want to share some of your ghost stories or interesting stories, please feel free to pop a little bit down in the comments, and we can all delve into that further. You never know. It's always interesting. I know that I love to hear other people's experiences.
Can I tell you what I got? What I'm kind of feeling?
Yes, please.
I'm feeling that the card that represents the situation is the Empress. So I'm kind of feeling like, and above him I have the Ten of Cups reversed. So I'm wondering if he had issues with his family. Maybe he had his own daughter, and so that connection was, you kind of reminded him of his daughter.
Maybe.
I definitely see like a failed family or, marriage.
He just would look, he didn't, now I knew the look of malice, but he would just like, it was like an intent gaze that would make most people uncomfortable. It should have made me uncomfortable. But before I knew it, I realized that I was looking into his eyes and he was looking into mine, and we were like,
you had a connection.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Thanks.
Well, the card that I got crossing the situation was the Ten of Swords reversed. So I don't know. I definitely think he had his demons. He was feared, he feared that he ruined his life. It does feel kind of like really strong and almost kind of dark energy. I think he was a very troubled soul.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense, because there was an intensity there.
Mm-hmm. Below the reading, I have the Four of Cups reversed.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just felt kind of empty inside. He didn't have that emotion. He wasn't able to show his emotions towards his family. He was a very hard man.
Yeah, and that's very true, because when he was looking at me, the effect or affect was very flat as he smoked his cigarette, looking at me like, just like if I was doing this to you. It's just strange.
It's really kind of strange.
Yeah, and that's why it stood out in my memory. And I recalled seeing him come to our house 2 or 3 times, at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I never saw him again. We did move out when I was 7. And as I turned 7, these experiences were quieting down a little bit until we moved to the old Indian agency.
You know what I'm kind of wondering? I'm kind of wondering if he was maybe didn't follow your parents' friend, but was maybe followed him in the house because he was nearby. Because it's really strange that if you moved, he didn't follow you if you had a connection like that. So I'm thinking he was kind of stuck in that location. And I kind of feel like also as I'm tapping into the energy, I feel like he was a drunk.
Yes. I was just going to say, when you were telling me he felt empty, I got the hint of alcoholism.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Oh, wow. That's so fascinating.
And then what's really interesting.
He was very quiet.
Yeah. In the short-term future, he got the 6 of I had to figure this out right. He got the 6 of Swords reversed. Which is kind of a feeling of not being able to move on. So
I was
something's
I was going to say to you, just looking at your cards, do you think he's stuck? I think he was
yes.
a bit stuck.
I feel like he's emotionally empty, and maybe he's resistant to seeing the love and the light to move on to the other side.
Mm.
He's stuck. I feel like he, like I said, like he was an alcoholic, and it destroyed him and his family. And it does feel kind of dark. I wouldn't be surprised if there was maybe like a suicide in with it too.
I think he killed himself. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Oh my God. I can't believe I
and
just
he's
said that.
unable to move on.
That would
I
make
got
sense.
I got body chills as I said
When
suicide.
you just, me too. It was like, heebie jeebie time. But like I can deal with it. It makes sense.
Hmm.
From just when I tune back in, and I can go right back to that moment where he was looking at me, and I can get, he wore all black. And it was like a Cossack, more like the Cossack, like a bishop, but he wasn't a bishop. It wasn't anything that high up, but it was all black. So I'm thinking the way he looked and it had that Western feel. St. Joseph, Missouri was the start of the Pony Express.
Hmm.
And, that settled early. He could have been somebody that came and settled there with the religious order and was a drunk.
Well, and you have to think too, before we went like all the way out west to California, Missouri and Kansas and all that was kind of considered the West for the longest time, I think, until
That's
they
right.
crossed the Rockies and all that.
And I lived right on the Missouri River between two states, between Kansas and Missouri. Now,
Oh, okay.
that kind of energy, the Missouri
Hmm.
River between two states, ooh, there was a lot of energy, people, a lot of dark energy in that area. But I find it fascinating. I can't help it. The history, and that's why I'm fascinated by history, and I love reading on houses that look old, and I want to know what's the story.
Right.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever see houses? I'm weird, I know, but
No, well,
and then go home, and I do that.
I don't necessarily do that, but me and my husband just moved to Paynes. I shouldn't say where I live, but
Oh,
I
you can
live
say
I
the
live in a
state.
suburb of Cleveland, and there's a lot of old Victorian houses over here that
Oh,
they
cool.
seem really interesting. And we do actually have a lot of houses. I'm not sure in the area that I live, but in the local area where the Underground Railroad was. So there's
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
really
A lot of
interesting
history
history.
in there.
Hmm.
So rich in history. I'd like to go to Ohio, actually. That's there's a lot of cool, interesting place. And as you said, there's a lot of fascinating history
Hmm.
as well.
I don't think you'll want to live here too long, though. It's pretty boring.
Oh, I'm pretty boring, actually. Except for if there's a place where you got art galleries and some good restaurants, then I'm good.
I'm a little far out from that, but I'm about 45 minutes from Cleveland, so
But
there's
that's
some
cool. No,
city
that's
stuff to
good.
do.
Yeah, that's good. That's a day trip, right? And
Mhm.
then you go home and you're like, thank God I live in the country and there's fresh air and a place to park. That's what it is
Right?
here. Yeah. Oh my God. So we're getting the other people commenting here. All right, you guys, you have been so patient and so good. Should we reward them with a bit of some readings, or should we? Do you want me to look at anything for you, and then we can start on the other? Because I'm more than happy.
Not anything that I can really think of off the top of my head.
Well, just let me know if
If I
anything.
think of something, I'll let you know.
You
Maybe it'll
will.
be a good break in the middle.
Yeah, just let me know because I'd be happy. You probably remember it tomorrow, like when you're driving in.
Right? I should have asked her that.
That's what I always do. It's like right before I'm getting ready to go to sleep. It's like,
Yeah, always right before you go to sleep.
I got to write stuff down, and even then, I don't know, you guys. I do the best I can. What do you want? I've got Pisces rising and a Pisces moon. I'm lucky if I could find my ass with both hands. So all right. You guys are doing great. Oh, Patty Palmer has a little story. Let's see what she's saying. Walking home from grade school, my friend couldn't get in Granny locked her out. We broke it. Couldn't go past the closet. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I think they stalked you too. Yeah. There's,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Trying to protect you from seeing something like that.
It's like, and you won't need to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's protection.
That's heavy.
And Shield Maiden says it sounds like he was in limbo, referring to the priest. Let's call him the priest because he looked like a father. He looked like a priestly, but I don't know what was going on. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like he was stuck because he was a very troubled person and was upset about losing his family.
he was the one I couldn't see through. He was solid.
Mm-hmm.
That just occurred to me. I've seen a ghost cat that I could see through in color. It was a calico. And then, of course, the old jerk from the house. And at the same house, but when I saw the man that I call the priest, I couldn't see through him. He was solid. And that's why I thought he's not a ghost. He's not a spirit. He's a person.
Right. That's interesting.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that till just now.
Must be on a different like vibrational level or like dimension kind of thing.
Yeah, because the one spirit was like nearly like mist,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy was like, he looked like my mom or anybody else that was in the room with me.
Right.
So that's crazy. Anybody else have any of that? Because I want to know that. I know I'm not the only one. Make sure that you are subscribed, by the way, to Kevin. I will be making sure that his link goes into the description box.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast my channel's been growing.
You are blessed, my son. You are blessed.
It's crazy. I never imagined it happening like this. I figured, it would take me quite a long time to build up a lot of subscribers, but it's just
You hit a
Mel
good.
Dor gave me a really good shout out, I guess. A lot of his subscribers joined me, so
That's what it takes. It takes networking, because otherwise, like I've sat at this number for several months now. It's taken me months just to gain 20 over what I had.
right.
So like you could end up plateauing, but who cares as long as you've got what you need.
Right. I don't really care as long as I get that perks and I can like the community tab and get it in contact with people.
That's the only thing that I really, care about either. So it's like
I want to do that so that I can, do live streams and get questions in advance and stuff to look at.
Yeah. And it's so handy.
Right.
The community tab, I use that a lot. So guys, we'll go ahead and we'll start on your questions. And I'm going to go get them from the, let's see here, from the list. First on the list is Gathena. And I am going to copy and paste. Copy. All right. And then I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. We got it? Yeah, there we go. Spirit guides, ancestors, pertaining to my purpose.
All right.
All right. It's getting kind of warm in here. Muggy.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot in Ohio. It was really nice and cool. And it's just very humid out.
Yeah, even for here. I mean, like, I've got on a few layers because that's how you have to dress around here. You'll get hot, then you'll get cold, then you got to take it off. But you go out in the direct sun out there, it's very dry, warm, but the room is muggy. Ugh. Not anything like the Midwest heat, though. I knew what that was like.
It's a little bit cooler by you too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know how, like, Oregon is nice and, like, cloudy and misty.
That's the way we are.
Yeah.
Okay, pertaining to your life purpose, Gathina. And if you get something before I do, go ahead and go. Oh, I'm so clever. Not there. Oh. Okay, that's interesting.
Well, I can go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've talked a lot about on my channel about my new ET spirit guide Orion, and he told me that we all as a community we're all brought to Earth to bring balance to the Earth and help raise the vibrations of the Earth as we ascend.
Mm-hmm.
And the card I got for Gathina is a balance card.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I bring a state of perfect harmony into the world, and I do so without judgment. And it's so important to do it without judgment too, especially with like all the division that we're experiencing right now.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can send love to those people and hope that they'll receive that love and change their mind. It's not our job to change everybody, but if we can get everybody's vibrational level up, will help ascend the earth a lot quicker.
You're right.
I also got in regards to a message, I got the surrender card. So I can release
Mm-hmm.
my need to control things,
Yes.
surrender, and death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. I just find it so interesting that I've told everybody that my spirit guide told me that our main purpose is to help raise the vibrations and help the earth ascend, and I get balance. So
Yeah, and it's interesting the cards that you got because I get the Ace of Cups for her and the Queen of Pentacles. And this is about opening up.
mm-hmm.
This is about letting your light shine. I see that she's hesitant to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And they want you to stick your toe into the water a little bit further and go a little bit more out of your comfort zone with your skills. You have skills with the Eight of Pentacles that you can bring. There's a lot of gifts, and with balance and harmony to harmonize.
Oh wow.
So I don't see, I'm not good with that either. I'm just trying. So it really marries up to what you're saying.
Surrender that control to the universe.
There's the put it down. Eight, don't be hemmed in by the Eight of Swords. Release
Mm-hmm.
yourself from the
Feeling trapped.
Yeah, from the trap. Let it go. Be more open. And I think you'll be surprised. Who is my guest? This is Kevin.
Hi.
Kevin, Loving Vibrations Tarot. And we will be making sure that we get his link put in there.
Thank you. Please subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. And please subscribe to Ron and Hermit's Corner and other readers and stuff that are here in the chat, because we all tend to kind of rotate around. It really helps.
come support our community.
Yes, please. We all do need that help. Oh, okay. I see, Dean. See, Dean, I'm going to have people put their questions on the community tab from now on, but I'll add yours onto the list because we don't have a whole lot onto that. But that's something new that I'm starting. All right. All right. So, Gathina, I hope that made sense. All right. All right. Thank you for subscribing. Now we're going to go. We have a question from Darren B. that I'm going to. Okay. Well, he has two questions. And there's wanting to know about the fluoride in our water supply. So I'll take that one.
Okay.
And I'll bring it up. Okay. And let me go there. Okay. Because I try to make it one question per person. Otherwise, you don't know. I mean, on a slow day, that's fine. But
9 questions is it takes a little while.
It takes
especially
a long
with
time.
2 people. Yeah.
Yeah, even for 2 of us. So the fluoride, I always was curious about that too.
Yeah.
So
I heard it helps. It stops here echo. A lot of like psychic development, like in your intuition.
really?
I've heard some people say that the government likes doing that to stop your intuition from flowing, to kind of brainwash you. I don't know if I believe in that, but
I don't either, but you never know. I mean, you know. Hey, Clarence, it's good to see you. And hello to all 40 of you here. Hello, hello, hello. Just letting you guys know, the new thing that we're doing with questions is typically a couple days in advance, I will, on the community tab, say, hey, leave all your questions here for Sunday's stream. So that's where I'm trying to have you leave your questions so that YouTube won't eat them and that I can keep hold of them and more smoothly flow. All right, so we are looking at Darren B's question about the fluoride in the water, and is it really a toxin? Because this man says that he's used fluoride-free water and fluoride-free toothpaste for 25 years and his teeth are okay. Also depends on your eating habits and genetics, but
I asked, and clairvoyantly I did say yes, but it didn't seem like it was like a really strong like yes. So I don't think it's a very strong toxin, but I think enough to have some kind of side effects.
I think I just got that collectively over time, it could affect some people more than others in certain areas, and down to, as you were saying, the amount that's used. And I'm wondering, does it vary from state to state?
Mm-hmm.
I think it does. But I'll see what my cards say too. And then I'll get to the next one. I use a Himalayan salt toothpaste. So I don't use the fluoride either. Kind of avoided it on purpose.
I normally just use Colgate, but
yeah. It's there, pinch your teeth.
Yeah.
Well, I get the 4 of Swords and the Ace of Wands, and it does make me feel like it's not anything to get too worried about. It is something that should be watched, monitored for spiking. But I think a lower level is nothing to worry about, is what I'm being shown there. Because it's kind of the peace of mind card. It's the 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands, though. 2 of Wands, and Strength. I think it's 50-50 for some people with this. I think some people have a stronger resilience than other people do to it. Some people might be more sensitive to it as a toxin. Yeah, it has to be the right balance in the water. Justice and the Queen of Cups. So at a balanced level, I think it's okay. But if the amounts should be watched.
I think it's interesting that you said about like state governments and the amount of fluoride that use in the water, because that kind of goes with what I got in the cards.
Trippy.
Two of Swords reverse, so it's kind of like the wrong choice.
Yep.
There's some kind of conflict with that, and it's crossed by the King of Swords, which could be the government, state governments.
Yeah, lawmakers. That
Lawmakers.
looks like a lawmaker. That's the word that came to my head when I saw that.
And then in the future, Eight of Swords.
Restraint.
Mm-hmm.
They have to can't do it. They're going to be putting, I think,
some states are putting way too much in it where it's affecting people. And it feels like a lot of like Midwestern central states.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's weird.
I don't think it's anything that is really worrying some, although some of the cards maybe weren't the best, but I'm not feeling like it's like really dangerous.
That's what I got, because the first card out of my deck was the Four of Swords, and then the next card was the Ace. It's just kind of like relax, but watch.
Right.
Be active. Don't be complacent. But don't be like in a nervous wreck about it either.
Right. And I didn't get any like psychic kind of energy cards where
nope.
I'm thinking that it's to help stop your psychic development. So yeah.
No.
Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, no. I think if it's as a toxin, it would affect you probably, some people, their neurological systems maybe. And so that's what I'm thinking. Oh my God. Aspie says, okay, get this. She saw autopsy photos and data over time turns the pineal gland into a rock. No,
yeah, I've heard that. Some people think that. I didn't get any of that kind of energy in the cards.
No, I really didn't either. It's like it's the amounts and collectively over time, and then some people would be more susceptible. And if there's a high dose in the water, that's not good. Maybe check your fluoride levels.
I see it being more concerning possibly with high doses with children, but not adults, because their bodies are a lot smaller, so they may be a little bit more. But I don't see it as anything to really be concerned about.
Yeah, I don't either. So I think we've answered that question for Darren B. Okay, here comes Dean's question. I know that, or Carl, as we also know him. He was saying, "Where's my question?" We got it, baby. Don't worry. Here we go.
Got into this question the other night.
Okay.
Channel.
I probably was asleep. I've been so pooped.
It's a full moon. I was exhausted.
Oh man, me too.
I think this morning was like the first time I actually woke up feeling somewhat rested.
I woke up. Yeah, I didn't even have to. Usually, I have to take a little something to help me sleep, but I didn't. Not last. I was like out like somebody hit me with a log. Okay, so between Kevin, this is Ron and Maya. I come to realize that I am an empath healer. What is the advice? Okay, the spirit guides best to open the path to communication. The shadows are starting to keep me up at night. Okay, let's take a look at your energy, Dean.
I remember that I told him he was on somebody's live stream and I was in the chat and his question came up, I think in regards to like what his life purpose was. And I saw him as an empath and healer. And he obviously knows he has his gifts, but he wasn't really sure of what they were the other night on his live stream. And I felt he was very empathic.
I could see him as being that way too. He certainly feels like it. And he's a water sign, so.
Right.
Yeah, Cat 11 says that full moon was a wipeout.
Sure was.
Oh, I'm still tired. They say that the energy is like for about 4 days. You have about 4 days in and
I've
out.
been feeling it the last few weeks, but I also think that with this full moon, it's bringing a lot of heavy energy to the country with the virus
Yeah,
and
like to clear
a
it.
lot of earth changes. I could feel that energy coming in, and I feel the next 3 months, 4 months are going to be a little tough for us.
Mm-hmm. That
Um,
wouldn't surprise me.
but I did feel a shift on Friday afternoon where it felt like the energy cleared. I think, was so exhausted. I had a hard time sleeping that night with the full moon, but I slept good last night. I feel a little bit more recharged.
Yeah, I had a little bit similar, but I got to where I was trying to listen to it was annoyed me because I wanted to listen to some shows or something on YouTube, and I was just like, I can't even. And I just thought, oh, poop, I gotta go to bed.
I passed out during Ron's live stream towards the end of it.
Did
I
you? Were
tried to
you asleep
stay.
on your computer?
I tried to. I was in bed, and he was asking
Hey,
for
Jay.
somebody to come help him, while we were waiting for you to come on. And I was already in bed, and
You're like,
I was like, if you really need me to, but I'm comfy and I'm tired.
yeah,
So I was starting to get ready, and then Miss Clairvoyance wanted to come on, so it saved me. I could go back into bed.
yeah. I'm like that too. It's meant no. Once I'm like when I'm set down for the bed thing, that's it.
Right.
Nothing else be happening. I totally understand that. Whew, yeah, this one was a butt kicker.
Yeah, it's really heavy.
Okay. Let's just see. So he's wanting to know how he should open that path to communication because the shadows are bothering him. He's got shadows.
We talked about it the other night because he was saying he wasn't sure if he had like medium skills. And I told him, all born with gifts. A lot of us are, have stronger abilities than other, but we can always build onto those gifts. And what I think is really important is, especially for channeling and mediumship, is really being able to raise your vibrations to meet with who you're communicating with so that you can get your messages. Because he was telling me he was a little afraid of, I think it scared him a little bit. And I said that fear will definitely kind of hinder that. It will kind of block it a little bit to communicate.
Yeah. You kind of got to set it aside. And easier said than done.
I have a hard time sometimes.
Me too. I mean, like when I've seen spirit, I wasn't going looking for it. I certainly was not.
I have anxiety, so
Same
I mean,
here.
it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If I feel a presence outside my bedroom door,
Oh,
I'm like,
what?
you need to. I'm not communicating with you. You need to leave, and
Yeah.
you can come back to me in the morning. We're not doing this in the dark.
Yeah. I've got the same kind of rules up. It's
Set
like
up some kind of boundaries.
nobody bothers Maya except my guides.
Right.
Except the big ones, the big dudes, the big powers. That's for sure. So Dean's saying that he wants to take on the challenge. Oh, I think you're meant to.
Yeah.
And Ron's still so honored that Mary Street or Miss Clairvoyance came on to his show.
She was great.
Pumped.
She jumped right in there and was on it.
He says, that is what happened to me the other day when I decided to leave my door open.
I sleep with my door open, and I definitely have had entities or spirits come in the middle of the night. I think people just wandering. And usually if you just send them out with love, tell them, you're not respecting my boundaries, you can come back next day. They normally, I don't ever have a problem. I feel the energy shift like instantly.
You really have to stand kind of like a bit gruff about your, be very firm, because I've had possession before, once as a child in that house.
Yeah.
And that taught me right there that they can jump you and take you over. I would never have believed it. I would have thought you need psychological help if somebody would have told me that. But it happened to me as a kid, I'm telling you, one time, and that was it. And then my guides told me after that, in my mind, I knew when you give them permission, because that's what I did. Something said, hey, can I kind of, and I could hear the thought going, on in my head. And I was a little girl. I just said, okay. I didn't really know what was happening. And then this thing takes over, scares the babysitter. She didn't ever come back. And, that embarrassed me. I thought, what did I do wrong? But I scared the babysitter. So, yeah, it's like I'm never, partially out of being humiliated and scared because I like the babysitter. She never wanted to come back. And the fact that it was just creepy how it felt, what the whole thing, the whole process. I just said, that's never happening to me again. And the inner voice, inner knowing said, you have got to stand firm and say no. So
And it's also good too to feel like a protective, like light shield around you, or a pyramid.
Saint Michael or any energy that
I just feel the light energy and love energy all around me. And for me too, I wouldn't consider myself a medium. I'm sure I have medium abilities, but I normally will communicate through my spirit guides. So they will let me know if that's an energy that I can communicate to or not.
Best filter is your guides. Really well and true. That's what I tend to do too. It's like I just tell them, it's kind of like frisking people at the door. Don't let anybody in here that doesn't need to be in here.
Right.
That doesn't have any business in here. It's because of the early experiences of my childhood. That definitely I can say. Definitely.
I'm sure.
So Dean, I need to look at your cards. But how you can do that is by, I think what Kevin was just saying, I'm open to communicate, and you make the rules. Make the rules, and they cannot harm you or Dean. Believe I'm still this warm. I gotta get all my hair up off my neck. Okay. Be still and know that I am. That's part of it. You've got the Four of Swords and the Fool. So this is your new path, Dean. Part of it is being still and learning to discern the energy, see how it feels. But I also feel like you're definitely a channel. That's going to start up more. Yeah, I think you got mediumship, my friend. King of Cups, there you are, Dean. That's you, Mr. Cancer, Mr. Crab. Yeah. It's about reclaiming your power because you've got the Devil card next to you. Something, if you don't harness that, something will try to harness you. Oh, God, that's not all right. So be mindful and definitely pull the wise, older energy, your spirit guides around you. And you're developing, it's going to be a little scary to you, but they want you to begin this work. Prince of Cups and the Hermit is in search of. I think you're just gonna have more spirits coming to you, and maybe a number of them. I feel like you got like a queue out your door or something. I'm not kidding. Maybe they know, like, oh, that guy's gonna get his lights turned on here pretty quick, and he'll be able to get a message for us through.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get a sense of like spirits kind of like.
That's what wandering spirits normally will do, is they'll see sensitive people to help them either see the light or get a message across to loved ones.
Yeah, because I'm getting like, this can be the card of what you can't see, or it can be even deceptive, but usually it's also indicative of something you can't see on the surface. But there's something's going on. So it's like, even if you can't see what's happening, there's work going on there. There's more than one person that's coming in and around that you can't see. So yeah, you need to, I'd say just set, one of the things that I did was I went to in my house, I've gone to every doorway and windowsill, and I went around and I psychically sealed it, and I asked certain spirits to guard. And
you can put,
but that's an idea.
You can also put in all of your corners of your house, and by the doorway, you can put selenite, and black tourmaline's really good at protecting your house.
Yeah, I've got a really cool tower I just bought. Let me show you guys. This is the selenite, right? It has a little bulb.
I've seen those. I have a pink Himalayan salt lamp, but I've seen the selenite ones too. I think
I love it.
My next one I'm going to get.
Yeah, it's a LED light, so it's like I can have this on, and it's not expensive to run, and tiny light, but it's nice. I like to turn it on before I read, so I should have turned that on earlier. There we go. It looks so pretty. Anyways, I had to show you guys that.
I was a little confused with my cards. Like I said, I feel like I gave some good advice beforehand. But what confuses me, messages from spirits. This is a brand new deck that I got, but I love the pictures on it. It's the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck. And this is animal bonds. So I'm not sure if he's communicating to an animal, like a pet, maybe.
There might be. But what if it's a mixture? Human and animal.
Or maybe he has a very strong bond towards animals and can bring that into his mediumship.
Ooh, yes. That somehow could figure in.
Spirit's sending me the owl, which is all about following your intuition. And this is one that's really resonating with me.
Oh, I like that card.
If something feels like it's dark and it's not something you want to tap into, your intuition will tell you that. You can put that protective shield of light all around you.
Oh, he says he's seen dogs before.
Isn't that interesting?
Trippy. That's cool.
I was confused when I was looking at it. I was like, why am I getting this card? I'm not really sure how to relate that.
That's when you're like, do I want to say that? Do I want to say that?
And then also friendship. Nurture your relationships. Bring that loving energy that you have with your friends and family in to protect you and to raise your vibrations, and you'll get there. And I want to say a little mantra that these cards have nice little mantras, and I'm being pulled to the owl, the intuition. A mantra you can say is, I am wise and intuitive. I follow my inner wisdom to prosperity.
Ooh, I like that.
It's got nice little mantras in it, and I love all the colors and images on it. The cardstock's a little crap, but
just be careful shuffling.
Right.
Mine are like, I shred decks. I get like little piles sometimes of shredded deck on my lap afterward.
I started reading tarot around right before the 2016 election.
Mm.
I don't know why I was pulled to do tarot, but I guess I could just sense something was going to happen, that I would need to use my intuition. I have some decks that are so beaten up from doing hours and hours of political readings. I can't even use those decks. I've tried saging them, giving them Reiki to clear the energy. Donald Trump's energy is not coming out of those cards. So
I think that's compostable.
yeah.
Might go in there with the horse manure. Sorry. I get silly. So I think that to cap it off, Dean, that he says he hasn't sensed anything negative around him, just playfulness.
Yeah.
Just know that once that light starts coming on, though, you might. So hold your ground. Don't let anybody try.
I feel like most people that you're going to want to channel on the other side, they're not negative on the other side. It's the earthbound people that are stuck or
yucky,
are negative and drawn into the earth. There's nothing to be scared of on the other side.
No. Let me get to the next question. I hope that was helpful, Dean. And you know that you know how to get a hold of us, and we can chit chat because we need each other's help. It's hard to read on yourself. It's so hard, especially with something that you're so interested in, because All right. The next question we have is from Rochelle. All right. Copy. And yes, please just put your questions on the community tab page with Kevin's wonderful photo that has his link to his channel. Okay.
Yes.
It's like I put up a billboard of Kevin and I put a link. So you all
I wish I could share it on my channel, and I don't know if I'm able to I'm not able to until I get my community tab.
Yeah. That's how you get your community tab, is the 1,000.
And don't you need a bunch of views, like hours of views?
You have hours, watch hours. So make some videos that people can find and watch to pump up those hours. Seriously. All right. So, okay, this is Rochelle. I've got kind of split into two posts. See, can't find their way back. Will the pain stop so they can reconcile? What was this? A personal question. Okay. Is my daughter and common law marriage, Brooke and Joey of 9 years, have lost that loving feeling. Both are heartbroken. Sorry. Both are heartbroken. Can't find their way back. Will the pain stop so they can reconcile? Okay, so this is about a reconciliation of her daughter and her common law husband. Okay, of 9 years. Okay, okay.
It sounds like they just kind of drifted apart. Yeah.
I will put the link down, okay, you guys, so that for the the what you call it, yabba dab dab. That's all, folks. Here's the link to the community tab question where you can put your posts, or the posts for your questions. Okay. So, Patty, it's just right beneath you if you want to go there and drop your question. That way it won't get eaten by the chat stream. Okay, so this is Brooke and Joey, common law marriage, staying together or no. I'm so sorry. That's no fun for anyone to go through. I'd like to thank all of you that are here. Thank you so much. And typically I let the stream stop at 2 hours because I think that's more than enough. So we will read the questions off the community page. I put the link in the chat log if you want to drop your question there. And if you can get it in there before we reach that 2-hour mark, magic will happen. If not, you can always jump on to Ron's or Dean's or Kevin's sites and chat with them.
I've been telling people to, if they're interested in connecting with me, to either email me, or if they have like questions that I can do for future videos, just to leave a comment in one of my videos until I get my community tab.
Right. I really think it's the community tab is something that should be given
right
straight away. It's just silly, but that's the way they do it.
What
And
can do?
You have to have so many hours of watch time, and that means the
I think
best
it's
way.
4,000. It's a lot.
It's a lot. All I can tell you is that I made a lot of and do a lot of videos.
Yeah.
But I just do the ones I want to do. I don't, it's like I'll get there when I get there at that point.
I feel like Spirit was pulling me in a different direction what I originally planned with my channel, because originally I was thinking of doing more like mini reads like this and pop culture, political readings, like spiritual, interesting stuff like that. And as soon as I started my channel, I got a major download, a major message I needed to share through an ET. It felt very ET-like, but I believe I got a new spirit guide as I started my channel.
That's right. I saw that. I saw that video. That was really good.
It pulled my my channel and everything that I was planning on doing it into a different direction. I haven't gotten another download yet, so when I do, I'll go back to doing that. I'm kind of trying to switch back and forth between doing political and mini readings and that right now.
Yeah, it's good to mix it up, because if you don't, you'll go bananas. Okay, so Joey and Brooke. Wants to know if there's a reconciliation. Okay, I'm going to start throwing down some cards. Okay.
I can go if you need a minute.
Yeah.
A card that really wanted to fly out to me as I was shuffling was the Full Reverse. So I feel like there was some really careless, like foolish kind of dynamics between the two of them. And I get that a lot of the cards I'm getting as well. I'm getting the Nine of Wands, so just standing your ground. It's kind of in a defensive position.
Boundaries.
And that's crossed by the Ace of Wands, reverse, losing that passion, all that fiery energy. I have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups above and below the reading. So I do feel like there is a lot of turmoil between the two, but it's really interesting because in the future, I get the Ten of Pentacles.
I got the Ten of Pentacles, yeah.
So that's kind of like the happy family card. So I'm wondering if they're going to be able to set their, I believe they're going to be able to set their differences aside and start that family and maybe go to therapy.
That's
getting
what I'm saying.
Clarified with the King of Swords, because I was, so I'm thinking they might be seeing a professional to help.
That's what I see too. I see them involving with the Three of Pentacles. I also got,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's a counselor. It's somebody that's a mediator between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I get around the family. I get the moon right now. So right now, it's the uncertainty is making people uncomfortable and
Right.
scared and so on and so forth. But I agree with Kevin. I think there's going to be a lot of changes and growth. I see there's the need to communicate and for your daughter to maybe spend some time with you and with other people and socialize a little bit and to break up that heavy energy. You guys, like, maybe you two go for a drive or something.
I feel like
But
they lost the spark.
yeah, and with
know,
the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups, yeah, that is like flat.
discontent. Yeah.
That energy is like, that's the tire that with all the air out for me. But I get the Empress in strength. Then that comes up. So it's going to make her a stronger woman. And I think ready for, quite possibly, if she wants to become a mother or wife or whatever.
I see them expanding the family with that Ten of
Yes.
Pentacles
Felt
too.
her pregnant. I felt her
Mhm.
pregnant with these two. Possibly pregnant. Would that make any sense? Rochelle? Let me see.
I'm going to take a very quick break. I drink too much tea, so I will
Oh,
be right
yeah,
back.
you do. Nature calls. So I hope that was helpful, Rochelle. I see that it's a bit of a break from each other might do them some good. I think that they need to maybe get out, go out with their friends a little bit, try to have a little bit of fun, and then go with, I think, definitely at some point, if not soon enough, there's definitely, I believe, counseling, getting somebody else in there. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Let me get to the next question. All right. It is Vita Phoenix or Vita Phoenix. Cool name. It's Vita, right? All right. Let me post it up. Okay. The question's on the mindset behind the anti-vaxxers. Is it self-serving ego? All right. Hey, Cardomancy Mesquite. And Melinda Ducher, Patty Palmer, Kath 11, Sherry H, Aspie. It's good to see you guys. And of course, Ron and everyone here. Thank you so much. So we'll be looking at this question next. I'll wait for him, but I'll go ahead and start shuffling because, it takes me a while to dial in.
I'm back.
Good. Our next question is the mindset. What is the mindset behind anti-vaxxers? Is it self-serving ego? I think, honestly, without the cards, I can say yes, but also a great deal of fear because these people are all fear-addicted people. If they don't have something to be afraid about, they look for something. They really do.
And there's an element of a brainwashing with that fear as well.
Yes. I think it becomes like a vicious cycle. One fear feeds upon another and another, and they just become, they're afraid of everything and they lie about everything. So that is fear-based. But let's see what else the cards going to say. They don't want to have to admit reality is real. It is self-serving. It's also, Aspie says, I call it Chicken Little syndrome. Yeah, I do too. That's very selfish.
They live in their own strange little planet.
Yeah, their own little universe.
Where all of the facts of the world are lies and all the lies are facts. I don't know. It's delusional thinking.
The Marjorie Turner Green syndrome. Oh, I'm so sorry, Aspie. She says her brother has it big time.
A lot. Yeah, it's
Hi,
a lot of
Laura.
people do. Like I said
And
before,
I was just going to say, and by the way, please do subscribe to Kevin's Loving Vibrations on the community tab, which there is a link in the chat. Also has a link to his website. So you can click on that and subscribe.
yes, please subscribe. Thank you. I was gonna say that they're even though they're somewhat delusional, like I said before, we can also send them love
Yeah.
and hope that they can wake up. Brainwashing does a lot to the soul that's not pretty.
Nope. I agree. It's just that way that you kind of let something bad in the door, you know,
Mhm.
and it attracts more bad things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, Shield Maiden. Shield Maiden has a son that has COVID. Thank you, Kathy N. We'll put you in, but I do ask that you try to make sure that you put your questions on that community thing. But that's fine. I see it's there, so it's lit up. It's not going to go anywhere. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see what Spirit wants to add to that. Anti-vaxxers mindset. What is their deal? And they've been around for a while too. People, it's fear. It's always fear.
It's
Fear that
gotten
they're
a lot.
putting.
It's gotten a lot worse though with
Yeah. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Okay, that to me feels like the backs. Medicine. Two of Pentacles. They're too extreme. Back and forth. They're extremists. That's an extremist point of view, according to the cards, with the Prince of Cups. Because what about children? What about, you're going to make these people sick? That's okay? No, it's not. No, it's not okay. There's no excuse. I don't care. Yes, you have the right to do this, but you don't have the right to go out and make everyone sick so that they could die. So that's like when someone has a communicable disease that's deadly and they deliberately infect someone else. That's why they get charged with murder. And these people should be, as far as I'm concerned, no different.
And we're going to be seeing a lot of that in the next month or two, sadly.
Yeah. I'm afraid so. I think this winter with the virus will be really probably pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm feeling it more when kids go to school because I feel kids are getting more susceptible to
The
the new
younger people,
variant. Yeah.
yeah, and they're staying sicker longer too. They're younger and
It's a lot
sick.
more contagious and
It's
powerful.
mutating.
Yeah.
This is why people want put their pride before common sense is foolish. Oh God, yeah. Of course, Donald Trump's in my reading with the Ten
I
of
got him in
Swords.
my reading too.
Look, ugly mofo. Look at that Ten of Swords.
Oh,
And
wow.
Donald Trump with all the needles, all those vax needles. Don't take the vax. Seriously.
That's a pretty graphic Ten of Swords.
Isn't it though? This is the Cosmic Tarot deck, if anyone's curious. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. That's what it's about. they can't think for themselves. It's kind of their will is, I get, is like a noodle.
Mhm.
There's no spine, and they tend to have more of an extremist, I think, point of view with the Two of Pentacles going back and forth, and never kind of common sense the middle road. What, not one extreme or the other, but the middle road. They always want to have one extreme or something to be extreme about. I think the answer is also some of these people just like conspiracy.
In my reading, it's literally all Donald Trump energy to it.
And you saw him on my reading, so that was pretty yuck.
It was a little confusing to read at first, but for the situation, I got the Three of Cups, which I'm reading as like groups of Trump supporters,
Yeah.
anti-vaxxers, crossed by the Eight of Pentacles. So, but with that, in the past, I get the Ten of Pentacles and the Emperor in the future. So I can read that across as Donald Trump in the past, spending a lot of money and resources to brainwash these groups of people, working hard to do that with Donald Trump as the emperor. And then above and below it, I'm getting the election to like stop the steal.
Yeah.
And them having to hold on to that because they are delusional.
Because
holding on to Donald Trump being their president, they're living in like an alternative reality.
Until it runs completely out of gas.
That's going to be happening here very soon. I have a very strong feeling.
Me too. My spidey senses have been, all we got to do is just kind of sit back and watch, get the popcorn.
We'll have some people that still stick by him, but
right. But I think it's going to dwindle down because frankly, they're dying out.
That's very true.
I don't mean to be grotesque or vulgar, but it's.
Well, why are all these Republicans and Fox News now changing their stance on the vaccine? It's because the Trump supporters are the ones getting sick and dying.
Yeah.
And they're not going to lose all of their base and lose in these midterm elections. They're going to, but and I think also too, a lot of the wealthy donors weren't very happy with the Republicans when Wall Street started to go down a little bit because people are afraid of this new Delta variant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That would affect all his.
They weren't too happy with their Republican minions.
But, yes. And then I heard that Sean Hannity, I heard him walking it back. Like it's like, which is it? Sean, are you for the vaccine or are you stuffing it back? I just want someone to put.
He wouldn't even go there. He just said that he didn't have the medical advice to tell people what to do.
No, you're not.
But he was sure pushing the anti-vax theory for a long time there, wasn't he?
He sure was. And he said, I can only tell people to, and it's like, just one day that man will be off the air and it will be very good. It'll be a
Tucker
very good
Carlson too.
Oh my.
He's the worst. He is the worst.
He recently got told off by a guy in some sort of a shop that told him that he was the worst type of human being that there ever was. So, oh my God. So that's really what the mindset behind the anti-vaxxers is. And also Trump was trying to push all those different medicines that he was investing in, telling people to take the stuff for malaria, and then people getting sick and people died, and they still did what he said. So these people, there's just no helping them, unfortunately.
Injecting bleach.
Yeah, like, really? No, Donald, you first.
Right.
You first here. Let me get that for you. I'll prep it. I'll watch you. Here's our next question from Arlene McMahon, 11 minutes ago. Okay. My dad doesn't say much when I ask him how he's feeling. Can you tap into him? His name is Bob. Okay. Let's see. Comments. There we go. Bob. Okay, Arlene. Your dad. Bob McMahon. I can see still. Uh, let's see. Well, the first cards I get are the Ten of Wands, and the Empress. So this makes me think. I don't know if your parents are still together, or if so. This could be the wife. Maybe your mother might know. If this is not, then this would be to me that he's in need of some kind of perhaps nurturing or care. There is a need for some kind of care, more sustenance, because I feel like he's fatigued and he's keeping it quiet with the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords. So I think that you are noticing a change, that he's getting two tens, Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords, and this feels like physical stamina to me and mental clarity.
I'm getting a lot of that kind of energy too.
It's just the hit I got, and you go right ahead. If you get a hit, we can take turns going back and forth. That was just the hit I got off those 4 cards.
Well, the card to start is the High Priestess. And so I feel like she's on to something. She knows something's going on, and he's also being somewhat secretive.
Yeah, with he's got the Ten of Swords here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have the Wheel of Fortune crossing the situation. So there's something major that's going on with him.
Yes, I get the Wheel of Fortune as well.
Some kind of a big shift, but above him, I do see he's not feeling well. I think he gets migraines. It's kind of, I'm feeling like low energy.
Yes.
Mental fog is what I'm kind of feeling with that.
Yeah, real trouble to focus.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. That's what I started to kind of like. Sometimes I can feel. Sometimes it's with certain people. He's real easier to read on for some reason. For as secretive as he is, bless his heart. I see. I don't know if he is an Earth sign or not, but I do get a King of Pentacles, so he's maybe a bit stubborn. And it's the King of Pentacles is under the Ten of Wands. I just feel like his stamina again and his mental clarity may not be great. Check his oxygen levels even. Seriously, that can cause mental fog. If he's got any kind of, respiratory, he may not, but, have everything looked at. I see him with the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups. So there is something coming.
I feel like it kind of happened really suddenly too, with the Eight of Wands. Like it, one day he was fine, and then the next day he started getting this mental fog really bad and migraines.
I agree. It feels like a thick, heavy onset, like fairly quickly. I
And I
mean,
get
go ahead.
I get what you're saying though too. In the past, I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles, so that really grounded, um, not secretive, but not really wanting to share a whole lot, walking slowly. And I had that clarified by the Hangman. So definitely a change, seeing things from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. I also get, and this looks hopeful, my last two cards for him are the Emperor and the Six of Swords. So that could be, if he goes and gets treatment, this could be some kind of an improvement in that condition, and he would feel a lot better. So maybe you should say, hey, Dad, we're going to go to lunch. And then you go to the doctor, and then you go to lunch.
She said he has cancer.
Okay, that's what makes sense. I wanted to see something like that when I saw the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, but rather than scare someone, if he
Right.
didn't have that, I didn't want to say anything because that it felt heavy. I appreciate that clarification. But yes, I think he needs a little more pep in his step. I think that there's, let me just pull a few more here.
Oh, I'm sorry. He is a Cancer. He's a water sign. Not that he has cancer. I read that wrong.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, I'd hope not, but it looks heavy. But I think it's like it's something that's going to have to be managed. I see the Six of Swords, so I do see some sort of improvement in him, and I think he will have to go further out for this kind of treatment. With the Five of Cups and the Hierophant, yeah, because his energy level is just. Tell Dad to get to the doctor quick.
Yeah.
Because the Hierophant's the doctor for me.
I have the Hierophant as well.
I think, when people get older, even if they get a urinary tract infection, it can make them have mental fog. It can make them seem like a little Alzheimer's like even.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was kind of.
And so it could be urinary tract infection. But get him to go to the doctor. Like I said, say, yeah, I'm going to take you to lunch. And then you take him to the doctor. And then you take him to lunch. So I hope that was helpful. Oh, he's 89. Bless his cotton socks. Silver, the first thing that came to me was a gift to gift them to someone, but I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know what they're talking about. But hey, Lisa.
Oh, she's talking about old Trump tarot cards when we were talking about putting them into compost.
Burning, but that's not good for the air now. So I think compost would probably be the best thing. Mother Earth can break it back down.
I'm gonna have to get on that as well. Although I don't like giving up stuff that I put so much time and energy into, but I can't give a decent reading with those cards. So maybe it's time to send them back to the earth.
Yep. Put them in the compost pail. I've done that. Yep, there they go. It's paper. It's all good. Okay, here's our next question. We don't have too many more, and perfect. We've got about, probably hit that right about the 2-hour mark. So, Equus wants to know if our Olympic athletes will remain healthy.
I'll post some more cards on it, but I actually did just read on this
cool.
The other day. And I'm very happy that it's not a public event. It's televised, but there's nobody in the crowds.
Right.
Because I do see it being somewhat of a super spreader event with the athletes. I'm not seeing any deaths per se, but I do see quite a few people getting sick.
That's what I kind of thought too. I thought that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I think, it's interesting. I agree with you. I think because they've been smart on one hand, because when I was shown COVID, I was shown that depending upon how people responded, if they responded responsibly, things will go a lot smoother. So
Hmm.
governments, places like this will help a lot. But a lot of people in one, somebody's going to get it.
I'm actually kind of feeling that the government might have to make the vaccine somewhat mandatory to get it under control.
I think it should be.
Oh, I mean, some people are really sensitive to that, and that's one thing. But
Right. And
um,
that's different. You can understand they're an unusual.
yeah, I do see that COVID's going to start getting bad again, and but the good thing for the Olympic athletes are most of them, they're all in really good shape. So unless they have like a pre-existing condition or a weakened immune system, I
Or
think
bad
most of them
heart,
are going to be able
funny
to
ticker.
fight it off pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take a look, but I'm on board with that because I was sitting there watching just some basketball actually with my husband before we came live, and that was pretty neat in Tokyo. It's like, come on, America against
I haven't
France.
started watching yet.
I got about 5 seconds of it. That's all I got. I want to watch it too. And last night, like I was telling you, I had a moment and I wanted to watch something, and y'all, I fell asleep. It was just pathetic, pathetic. Oh, yep, here we go. And you know what? This is showing just what we said. Okay. Nine of Wands and the Lovers. The choices you make. And some people will fare better than others. Some people are stronger than others, have a stronger stamina, can fight it off. Definitely. I can see that. It's going to be a matter of certain people. But then there's the Devil and the Six of Wands. So I think people will pick up the bug and take it back somewhere else traveling. I do see that happening, unfortunately. But the athletes, no, they have the Star and the Prince of Pentacles. They have youth on their side, and I believe probably better health than most of us. So they
That's
look
what I
good.
was feeling.
I think some of the people that go in to see it, not so good. Will not do so good. But athletes, I don't see any big problem with. Choices, exactly, JLo. They have consequences. Oh, and that's Kevin. Some of the athletes are nursing mothers. Yeah. But if you can have it, get it done. Seriously.
I'm not seeing any like really horrible cards here.
No, me neither.
I do see the Two of Pentacles. I feel like they're not really considering, they're not balancing it out right. They're thinking that it's going to go pretty smoothly. I do see quite a few people getting sick with that.
And I feel like it's the audience or
They
the
don't have an audience, do they?
I think there are some people, aren't there some people coming or that are there that are not athletes? There's got to be maybe trainers. I don't know. But I just feel like it's other people around that event more.
Mm-hmm. I do get the Eight of Swords, so I do see there is some people pretty nervous about. I think with that card, I do see some people getting COVID, but I think a lot of people are vaccinated with the Ace of Swords. It reminds me of kind of a needle, not in this
Yeah.
card necessarily, but a lot of people have the mental clarity to protect themselves.
Oh yeah, people. She's just answering a question. Okay, I think we've got that one, and we just have two more questions.
All right.
Now, this one I answered, but this question was, do empaths and other sensitive people need to get the vaccine? And I answered yes, of course.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
saw that question and I didn't know if it was going to be answered, but I did feel compelled by spirit to give a message on that a little bit.
Go ahead. I already wrote my things, so I've already answered them. So I'll leave it there and I'll let you talk.
I don't think being an empath or being sensitive has anything to do with getting COVID or not. I do think, I think people should follow their intuition. A lot of people, I got vaccinated, and if you can get vaccinated, I suggest doing that. But if you're not feeling comfortable with it, just follow your intuition, be safe, and make sure you wear a mask. I do think that people that vibrate at a higher level have more of that loving, healing energy inside of them. So I'm not feeling too many people like us that are just in that loving vibrational energy getting as sick. But I mean, I'm not really I don't think that empaths or being sensitive prevents you from getting COVID.
No. You asked a question on the community board, Yvette. Did you? Let me just see. I might need to refresh probably just refresh it. And then there's like 20 more questions. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, there's Yvette. You're next. Let me
I
get
need
that.
to plug in my computer real quick so
No
I don't
problem.
die on you.
That's right. It's fine. And this will be our Stacy Starr will be our next one, and Patty Palmer. So that's okay. We have 3, but we can bang these down.
All right.
Okay, Yvette 350. I'm in a long distance relationship. I want to know if the guy I'm dating is being honest and true. Okay, Yvette. I'm going to post that. And I'm going to put that right there while he does plug in his computer.
I can tell you what I saw real quick.
Yes.
I haven't pulled any cards yet, but if you're questioning
something.
it already, your intuition's already kind of telling you something, whether you should
that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I have to agree with you on that. Sometimes we don't want to listen to our intuition, we want to give that person another chance, or and sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves and to them is to give ourselves a chance and say bye, or demand that they treat you the way that you should be treated. But if they can't do that, they can hit the road. Okay. Long distance relationship. All right, so we take a look at him. And this is
Who asked the question? Yvette?
Yvette 350. Yeah, I couldn't, sorry, Yvette, I couldn't copy when I was going to copy and paste. I didn't capture your name in there. Okay, Yvette.
I heard no as I was tapping into it.
That he's not trustworthy, or that he is okay?
He's not being honest.
Okay. I'm not getting anything yet jumping out at me, so I'm going to throw the cards. Yvette 350. Yvette 350. Okay, now I feel like I'm more dialed in. Oh, hun. Yeah. Yeah, when I get the Tower, that's not built on truth. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is he's not being honest about money or finance or work, because the 9 of Pentacles is about being independent on your own, doing, you've got your stuff together. You make a good income. You have a nice living or whatever. I don't know if this is a narrative he's giving or the way he acts or what, but the Tower is telling me it is not based on truth, because things with the Tower, you have to rebuild with truth. This is an ego tower as well. And I'm going to say this guy likes to have his cake and eat it too. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like to say that kind of thing, but I have to be honest. And there's a lot of emotions here with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Wands. I think there's just so many opportunities to meet other people. I get the Star and the Queen of Pentacles. I think you deserve better. This might be difficult also with the Star, but that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think there's something that if it hasn't happened, Yvette, that will be coming up pretty quick, because the Tower was the first card I pulled, and I really tried to dial into you. Now, I could be wrong, of course. I mean, these are cards, but just be ready for a shoe to drop. That might happen. There's something, I don't know if you're a Queen of Pentacles or not. I guess he's kind of a player, maybe. Nine of Cups and the King of Wands.
I didn't get any energy like that. And actually, I see some things that you're saying, but I'm not getting like a tower or anything.
Yeah.
What I have right now for it is Two of Cups. So I feel like it's true love, crossed by the Four of Wands. So like celebration. However,
maybe mine are off.
I don't think so. Maybe that the timing's off, but in the short future, I see some information coming out with the Page of Swords, something to wonder if he's telling you the truth or something, the truth being revealed. And I feel like for him, in the past, I think you've kind of picked up on it too. I have the Five of Pentacles, so that either having financial problems.
I got that from the Nine of Pentacles and the Tower. It just made me feel like the Nine of Pentacles here was a facade, and the truth was the Tower. He's empty.
Right.
He's like it's an empty truth. It's not the truth. It's a facade.
I mean, that would make sense with the Five of Pentacles too.
Yeah.
The underlying cards I got, I was wondering if maybe he was a water sign, but I got Justice, Finding the Truth, things rebalancing with the King of Cups, and Eight of Cups, walking away from that situation.
Yeah, I kind of got the walking away feeling here with the Star and her. I felt like she was going to be stronger and come through this, the better for it. Not pleasant to go through. Definitely not. But with the Star, I feel like there's something really important that you're going to learn from this. And it will serve you well in the future. You're not going to allow someone to do this again. So, again, that's what I get. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's all great. But just take it into consideration.
Just follow your intuition.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. We already did Stone Marble, didn't we? All right. Here's some new ones. All right. I'm going to go. Let's see. Cecile's got a question here. And I'm going to go ahead, put that there. See you later, Silver. Have a good day. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's an old one. I hit the wrong. Where's my thing? There we are. So this is on Cecile's father, Phil, who passed in 2014. So I'm not taking any more questions, just so you guys know. Oh, well, Tyler, we'll do yours. If you put it on the community tab, we'll do it. But I'm cutting it off right here. So like, because it's already at 2 hours. Yeah, I just find that I bounce back better in the evening if I don't run myself into the ground with 3 hours of readings.
Right.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. And especially with
it's not good for you. I don't think so.
No. And I'm still recovering from this full moon as well, so
same. I feel like you guys look tired. I feel it. This I've always got these bags. They go with me now everywhere. Unfortunately, that's inherited, but I do feel tired. I do. I think maybe I need some iron. Okay, let me redo that because I was blabbing about myself. Cecile, Bill, 2014.
I heard as soon as I was tapping into the energy that he loves you.
Dad. Aw.
And that he's proud of you.
Oh, okay. He's funny. He was giving me the Magician and the Ten of Pentacles. And he's like saying something about like the family being very good at communicating and talented.
I got that same message that he
something
is
it runs in the
communicating.
family.
That he's communicating and he is with the family.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the saying, it runs in the family, kind of comes through my head. Maybe just because of that Ten of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely there, and he's communicating with you as well. He's letting us know that he's chatting with you and connecting with you, and he's very aware of what the whole family's up to. Watches them like a hawk. Got the King of Cups and the Sun. He's happy. Mm-hmm. And he does love you. And he thinks of you when you were a little girl. I just got that you're his little girl. Oh, don't, Dad. I've got hormones. I'll cry. Just don't do it.
I got a lot of that really loving energy.
Mm-hmm.
Being so proud of her. He is telling me that I feel like he's telling me to tell you that it was his time to go. So maybe she was wondering if maybe it came very sudden, his death. But he is also saying too that he learned when he crossed that there's no time on the other side. The time's only on Earth, and that's something he didn't know when he crossed. I have some mediumship cards, and as I channel the energy, the cards really seem to resonate. Let me see if I can find the box. I can't find the box. Oh,
of course not.
Talking to Heaven. Talking to Heaven.
Talking to Heaven. Cool. Oh, James Van Praagh. Can't talk.
Van Praagh.
Yes, thank you. I know who he is. Okay. Just have a few. And that really is it. Stone Marble wants to know what August 2021 is for them. Now, I read on them last night, so I'm going to let you do this one.
All right.
On Ron's chat.
I'm going to pull 3 cards.
Oh, okay, good, because we got maybe 2 questions, and then we are done. Jayla says she's got those cards.
They're really interesting. I can sometimes channel that energy really good, but I think because I'm starting to get a little tired, I did feel all that love and joy and that he was proud for him, but I do like to use those mediumship cards, and since I use them, it's normally pretty spot on with people.
Oh, I like that. I'll have to another deck I'll have to get. Don't tell my husband. He's like, how many do you need? I'm like,
right?
Yeah.
There's always room for more.
I know. I'm like,
I'll just buy another bookshelf to store all my new ones that I want to get for it. I feel like something new is happening in August for you, Stone Marble. I get the Queen of Wands, the really fiery, passionate energy. I feel like there's something new that you're trying to create or manifest that is going to bring some new money to you, a new financial offer in August. Because then I get the 3 of Wands. So you're just manifesting and watching and waiting for everything to fall into place. I feel something new. I think it's a new creative endeavor.
So more opportunities to expand a network, probably.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go. We'll go to Patty Palmer, and then we have Stacy Starr.
All right.
Patty Palmer wants to know any messages from guides or spirit for her. And then Stacy Starr's question will round it out. So this one's Patty. From Patty, what your spiritual team's decks are addictive. They are, because I'm telling you, I try to be good. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't work, to tell you the truth. I don't have a very strong will when it comes to resisting death.
Right? My latest deck was the Rebel deck. Because everybody kept on asking for Rebel cards on other panels. So
just be mindful when you get monetized that one will probably get demonetized for all the F-bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay to have like a night where you're not going to make that, but somebody maybe will just in the replay of like ads. They get,
right.
Whatever. Who cares?
That deck is very brutally honest with you.
It just made me
sugarcoat it.
It just made me hungry for tacos last night. That's all I thought about after. But that's how I am with
one of them's eat an effing taco.
Yeah. And I was like, yes, I want to eat an effing taco.
I want Mexican food. That's what I told my husband. I haven't eaten dinner yet. And I was like, I want Mexican food. Maybe he'll be nice and get me some.
Oh, I wish mine would go get me one. He's not going to, though. He's tired. That's okay. We went out last night and had a really nice dinner, so we can't. He took me all the way to Oakland, and we went to an art opening, so that was so nice. We haven't done that. Okay. Oh, did I? Patty Palmer. Okay, wait a minute. There we go. Oh, Hermit's Corner ate some today. Oh, you're rubbing it in. Tacos, yum. Yes.
I think our connection's good now.
Good. We're on our last question. I think, let me just double check.
I think you said there was one more.
Yeah, we just have Stacy Star after this. Oh, I want tacos now, you guys. I know I'm gonna have to send my kids out to get me tacos. Beg them. I'd even settle for Taco Bell.
I'm okay with Taco Bell.
Me too. I'm equal opportunist when it comes to tacos.
I mean, there's definitely better, but if you want something quick, I'm okay with Taco Bell on occasion.
Oh, yes. Oh, he says he ate a taco, a tostada, and beans and rice. Those are my favorites.
Oh, I like tostadas.
I do too. They're messy as heck, but gosh, they're so yummy. That taste.
All right, I can go first if you're still shuffling.
Yeah, I'm kind of dying over here.
Well, Patty, Spirit, this card flew out of my deck for you, so I felt Spirit's telling you to have patience. I accept that everything happens in a divine order. So, there's something that you're feeling. I'm also getting pulled to health, maybe a health issue that you're concerned about, or that in regards you're feeling impatient about. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And Spirit's also telling you to be happy. I love the dolphins in this card.
Yeah, what deck is that, by the way? Again, is that the same one or is it different? Oh, he's frozen up a little bit.
This one?
There. There you are. Okay.
All right. It's another James Van Praagh deck. It's called The Soul's Journey.
Well, I like it too. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Dolphins are my favorite.
Oh, mine too.
I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Just calm down. Try to be a little bit more patient. Focus on your health a little bit, Spirit's saying. And just enjoy everything and be happy.
Yep, that's what I get too. I get the Four of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. This is about taking care of your health, getting rest. Rest with that Four of Swords, including rest with your mind. Stop worrying for a little while, Mom. Stop worrying. Okay? And you get the Empress and the Three of Pentacles. Things, other people are going to be coming in to, I think, assist with things that you need to that you're working on in your life, but really, and allow to receive from other people too. I feel like you need some nurturing, Patty, and nap as well as a taco. Because I gave her the taco card last night.
Oh, I got you.
So
from the Rebel deck.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting. And really, the message is about nurturing yourself and letting yourself and your mind rest. Rest from the worry that you're holding in your head so much. That's what I keep just getting at.
Let the worry go. Be happy.
Yeah. And just, just like give it to God. Let Jesus take the wheel. Really. Just say here. I'll have my wit's end. All right. You're doing great. Okay, Stacy Starr. This is our last question for the evening.
All right.
And thank you all so much. It's been so much fun having all of you join us. And thank you for subscribing to Kevin. And again, if you don't know where to look, go to my community tab. There's a huge picture of Kevin, and it has his link to his channel. So go there, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification. Make sure also that you check from time to time that you're still subscribed, because people are being unsubscribed from different channels.
I've been hearing people talking about that. I haven't noticed. I'm subscribed to a lot of people, like most of the community, and I haven't noticed me being unsubscribed from channels. I haven't really encountered that, but I've heard a lot of people saying that they're losing their subscribers.
Yeah, I've had that happen for about 3 months. It was 3 or 4 months, really bad. Like I was lucky if I could get 10 or 15, and then they'd take them back. They would, like, the next day would be dropped. I'd lose 5, and then I'd lose 10. And it was just like, I just got so annoyed with it.
Right.
I just threw my hands up in the air. I thought, I'm not going to look for a while. And that turned out to be the best thing I can do.
So make sure that you're all subscribed to your readers.
Yeah, just double check from time to time, because we subscribe to a lot of people, and sometimes we don't notice that we're not seeing them in their feed until we think, hey, I haven't seen so and so in a while.
Right.
And, yeah. So let's see. This is for Stacy. Oh, let me get me Stacy's. Did I not post that? I'm so annoying. I may not have highlighted it. There we go. Stacy Starr. She's got that name I love. I think it's great. So, any message from your mom or grandparents? Okay.
All right.
I like these ones.
I feel like Mom really wants to come through.
Go ahead.
I just feel that really loving, nurturing energy from your mother. Pull some cards. I feel her energy around me. I just have a hard time, still somewhat new at channeling and communicating, but I definitely feel her energy around me, and she wants me to tell you that she loves you so much.
Mother's love never dies. I can tell you that. I know.
And that she's always with you.
You're welcome, Patty. And you're welcome, Cecile. Oh, this is neat. I have a very encouraging message. Clarity. They're saying that you're... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't know if this resonates with her, but I just saw a bracelet in my third eye. So I'm wondering if maybe there was a bracelet that she inherited.
Ooh.
It really pretty, like stones in it.
Maybe it's a family heirloom. Oh, my camera's flubbing.
Lots of internet problems today. All right. Well, Stacy, your mother is sending me a message to tell you I feel like her passing was maybe a little traumatic for you and very unexpected. She's telling me to tell you that she had to leave that way. She wants you to know how beautiful it is around where she's at. There's beautiful gardens everywhere. She wants you to know to not be afraid. I don't know if there's afraid of death or afraid of what happens after you pass, but it's beautiful where she's at and that she's always with you and loves you. I don't know where Maya's at. I'm on a live stream. Okay. Because what? Okay. You know what I like. Okay. Maya said she'll be right back. So what's going on with everybody? Anything new? It must be Mercury retrograde. I've been having internet problems as well.
I'm back.
You're back.
It kicked
The
me out of my
connection's been funny tonight, hasn't it?
It bounced me out of my own live. It froze me, and then I just waited to see. Sometimes, it'll kind of come unstuck. Yeah.
Sorry,
But
my husband was asking me about what I wanted for dinner, so sorry about that.
I'm hungry too. No, that's so cute. We'll go ahead and we'll end this out because we've gone 20 minutes over. So Stacy Starr, you read? Did you manage to get her?
Mm-hmm. I got it.
All right. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna love you and leave you, but I'll see you next time. And make sure.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to thank you, Maya, for letting me come on your channel, and I've had a fun time reading with you all and hanging out with everybody tonight.
It's been a good pleasure to have you, and thank you so much. And I hope you'll invite me.
Of course.
Because that's half the. Sending love and tacos. Thank you. I always split the thing, so you'll probably get an email from me, like a PayPal, once I divide it in half. Thank you so much, Kath.
Yes, thank you, Kath.
All right, guys, you know the drill. So I will see you in the next live or the next video. And until then, we'll catch you in the chat.
Take care,
I
everyone.
will send you out with some Reiki.
Ooh.
And all you have to do is receive, just like, think of yourself like a pipe that's opening up. And you're just letting that wonderful white light go through your whole body.
All that unconditional love.
Just washing over you. Yeah. And it always feels better. All right. All right, you guys. Take care. I love you.